Bhakta Vrinda, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you so much for joining. So we'll continue. Adi Lila. We are discussing the first 14 verses of the Mangalacharan. So yesterday we discussed verse number 1 and today we'll continue with the second verse. So we'll be discussing all these verses, and as I said, our goal is to memorize these 14 verses of the Mangalacharan. So I'll share my screen and we'll discuss text number 2, another very beautiful verse. So yesterday we made this point that how Mangalacharan has three main objectives, right? It actually first is Namaskara, we offer obeisances. So the first verse we discussed yesterday was also offering obeisance, and today's verse is also in the category of Namaskara. And the second aspect of Mangalacharan is Vastu Nirdesh, right? Giving the objective of the book, and the third is invoking the blessings, right? Ashirvad. So again, second verse in Namaskar. Okay. Okay, everyone, ready to start? Okay. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaudadaya Pushpavanto Chitro Sando Tamonudo. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaudadaya Pushpavanto Chitro Sando Tamonudo. Okay, Mother.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Nityananda Sahodito
Nityanando Sahodito
Gaudadaya Pushpavanto
Gaudadaye Pushpavanto
Chitro Sando Tamonudo.
Chitro Shando Tamonudo. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Akshaj Aksharam.
Hare Krishna, this is Akshaj.
Akshaj, okay, go ahead. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Nityananda Sahodito
Nityananda Sahodito
Gaudadaya Pushpavanto
Gaudadaye Pushpavanto
Chitro Sando Tamonudo.
Chitra Shando Tamonado. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you. Saki Sundari Mataji.
Hare Krishna, it's me, Arna.
Oh, Anna. Okay, thank you for joining. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Nityananda Sahodito
Nityananda Sahodito
Gaudadaya Pushpavanto
Godadaya Pushpavanto
Chitro Sando Tamonudo.
Yatra Sando Tamonado.
Thank you. So everyone here on the call, but particularly the youth, we request all the youth to learn first 14 verses of the Mangalacharan. So as we proceed, please learn these verses. Okay. So yesterday, the first verse of Namaskar is Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami has actually offered obeisances. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isham Ishavatarakam Tat Prakasam Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangakam. So what are the 6 aspects? So Gurun, so both Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, then Isha Bhaktan, the devotees of the Lord, then Isha Avatara, the incarnations of the Lord, then Tat Prakasha. Tat Prakasha is the expansions of the Lord, right? Tat Shakti is the gopis, the queens of Vrindavan, the Lakshmis, and the Lord himself. The Lord and all his energies, everything that can be considered is everyone that can be considered. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami has offered obeisances to them. Now, second verse, he is offering specific obeisances to who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So one day, again, offering obeisances, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, to Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And then Nityananda, to Lord Nityananda, Sahodito. This word, Saha Udito. Udito means have arisen, right? Like the sun arises, right? So Udito means they have actually arisen. Now, Saha Uditam. Saha means together. right? Together. So basically here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is actually making the point that how Mahaprabhu is like the sun, Nityananda Prabhu is like the moon. Now, if you see, sometimes rarely you see that maybe sun is shining on one side of the horizon, on the other side you see the moon, right? Full moon. But it's very, very rare that you see, I mean, does it ever happen that the sun and the moon, they arise simultaneously on the horizon at the same place? I've never seen that. But this is so amazing, and therefore he says, Chitra, so wonderful that both the sun and the moon are arising simultaneously. Sun representing Mahaprabhu and the moon representing Nityananda Prabhu. So both of them have arisen. Saha Udito. Together, simultaneously, they have arisen. Then Gauda Udaya, right? So again, Udaya, again like rising, but Gauda, right? In the horizon, eastern horizon of Gauda Desh. So Prabhupada explains in one of the purports here that how the place which is now Mayapur was previously known as Gauda Desh, right? Gauda Desh. So hence they have taken birth where? In that Navadvip, in Gauda Desh, right? Now, Pushpavanto is there referring to the sun and the moon together, right? So together the sun and moon have simultaneously arisen in the horizon of Gauda. Now the last line is Chitro Sando Tamonudo. So this is the last line Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains in great detail in the rest of the chapter. So this, as I said, the Mangalacharan verses are explained as we proceed through the first 7 chapters. So the same text number 2 is also text number 84 of this chapter. Okay, so I'll just pull that up. Okay. So 84. If you see 84 is the same verse, right? So after 84 to the end of chapter, he just explains these words. Chitro Sando Tamo Nudo. Right? So we'll start off with the word Tamaha Nuda. Tamaha Nuda. Tamaha means ignorance, right? We say like tamogun, right? So the mode of ignorance. Tamo Nudo. Nudo means they actually dissipate that ignorance, right? Now, what is the ignorance that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu are dissipating? And that is actually explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He says there are 2 kinds of ignorance that Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu are dissipating. One is known as Kaitava. Ajnana Tamara Nama Kahiye Kaitava. So Kaitava Dharma. What is that Kaitava Dharma? And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quotes the second verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.2, which actually says Dharma projita kaitava atro parmo nirmatsaranam sadam vedyam vastam atra vastu shivanam tapatra unmulanam Srimad Bhagavate mahamuni krite kim va pare ishvara sadhyo ridi avarudite atra kritibi shushrubi tachanat. Right? So second verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he quotes that, he says Dharma projita. Right? So Bhagavatam projita, pra-ujita means completely rejecting. Right? It's completely rejecting what? The 4 kinds of dharma, artha, kam, moksha. So if you see the entire Vedas, people may say the whole essence of the Vedas is to bring one to the point of dharma, religiousness, that brings that kind of religion will bring some kind of artha, material profit, and with that material profit you'll get some happiness, your desires will be fulfilled, and then when you're frustrated you want liberation, moksha. So Bhagavatam starts by saying that this book Dharma Projita is actually rejecting all these 4 kinds of dharma, artha, kam, moksha, and it is actually kaitava. Kaitava, that's the word that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is explaining, and kaitava one way means cheating. And why is this dharma, artha, kam, moksha called one way of cheating? Because all these 4, see, we are all looking for happiness, right? And even those who are pious, they'll do some kind of dharma so that their material desires are fulfilled, right? Isn't that, so many pious people, they'll be like, okay, I want to go to temple, I want to do this puja so that my material thing is all happy, my business is successful, my children are successful, they get good job, their health is, it's all with the material thing. But as long as religion is motivated by material desires, it will not give us complete satisfaction. And that's what Bhagavatam is establishing. It's saying we are all looking for the highest happiness, but that highest, Parama Nirmat Saranam, that highest happiness can only be understood when one actually focuses on a goal beyond these four: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Which is that? Which is actually love for the Supreme Personality of God, because that is the real, true dharma, constitutional nature of each one of us. Right? So Bhagavatam 127 actually makes Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma. So Bhagavatam is focusing on Paro Dharma, the highest dharma. Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma Yato Bhaktir Adokshaja, that engages in devotion to Adokshaja, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ahituki apratihata ye atma suprasiddhi. That kind of dharma which is unmotivated, not motivated by I'm doing dharma for some material gain. No. Unmotivated, uninterrupted, even ups and downs in life. That kind of bhakti which just keeps going on. That is the highest dharma for everyone. So Bhagavatam is saying it rejects all these lowers and establishes that highest dharma of love of God. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is making the point that Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu have arisen to dissipate the darkness of this so-called dharma of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, to establish, to give everyone the highest dharma. Right? This is Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu's contribution. So the Tamo Nudo, the Tamaha, referring to Kaitava Dharma, right? Cheating kind of religion, referring to Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Right? Prabhupada also in this purport explains how there's, if you see Vedas, they are explained in terms of Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda. Karma Kanda means doing some material activity to get some material profit. Right? That's all Karma Kanda. Jnana Kanda is to do some kind of mental speculation, trying to study Upanishads for what? Liberation, merging into Brahman. That is also cheating. Actually, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami said that is the biggest of all cheating, because once you try to merge into Brahman, then we lose even our nature to serve the Lord. That is the worst. Right? That's the worst. So he rejects that. So Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, third is Upasana Kanda. Upasana Kanda is worship of the demigods. Even that is actually rejected. So all these things, Mahaprabhu is coming and rejecting everything to establish the Parama Dharma, right? The highest Dharma. Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma, right? That is devotional, unmotivated, uninterrupted bhakti to the Lord. So that's what Mahaprabhu is giving everyone, and in that way they are taking out the ignorance in the heart. That's first point. Then the second point of Nudo, Tamaha, right? Next point of Tamaha, he actually explains is all kinds of activities, both auspicious and inauspicious, that are detrimental to the discharge of bhakti are actually ignorant. So it is actually said that just before Mahaprabhu's appearance, Advaita Acharya had appeared, and Advaita Acharya was seeing that how people are engaging in so many activities of religion. Like they used to have like elaborate marriage sacrifices with this yagya, but everything, the motivation was just, oh, so much pomp, I have so much money, and so there were all these like so-called religious activities happening, but in all that there was not even a trace of bhakti, right? So hence Mahaprabhu came, and that's the reason that Advaita Acharya actually called Mahaprabhu. He said, Mahaprabhu, Krishna, unless you yourself come, I don't know how these people will get the highest blessing. So Advaita Acharya invited, just seeing the people. So even though they were so-called religious, but still they were doing so many ritualistic activities. Oh, this is dharma, but Mahaprabhu is rejecting all that. Anything which is detrimental to the discharge of bhakti is actually rejected. So the second tamaha is shubha karma, right? So activities which are auspicious or inauspicious in the sense that which are detrimental to the discharge of bhakti. So that is the second tamaha, right? So just to review, we are discussing how one day Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda, so we are offering obeisance to both Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, who appear Gaudadeya on the horizon, eastern horizon of Gaudadesh, Pushpavanto, just like the sun and moon arising simultaneously. And then we discussed the word Tamo Nudo. Two kinds of ignorance they are dissipating. One is Kaitava dharma, that includes dharma, artha, kam, moksha, and second is that of shubha ashubha karma, karma activities, right, which are actually not favorable to bhakti. They reject everything, all activities unfavorable to bhakti. So that's those two words. Then next, after describing tamo nudo, the next he actually explains is sando, right? Sando. So if you see here, samdo, bestowing benediction. So what kind of blessings, benediction is Mahaprabhu giving, right? That and this is actually explained that they are giving the blessing of tattva vastu, right? So tattva vastu means they are establishing the absolute truth, the highest essence of all wisdom. What is that? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Lord Shri Krishna. Krishna Bhakti, devotional service to Krishna. Prema Rupa, loving service to the Lord. And all that through Nam Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy name. So, what is the blessing they are giving everyone? They are that some though. That blessing is they are establishing very clearly, very conclusively that Lord Shri Krishna is absolute truth. Bhakti is, Krishna Bhakti, and the perfection of Bhakti is to attain that prema, right? And all that through the chanting of the holy name. So the highest benediction that Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu are giving to the whole world is that through the chanting of Hare Krishna Mantra, one can actually realize the highest conclusions of all the Vedas. Okay, so that is Sando, the blessing. And there's another blessing that Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says that what is a blessing? And he says these two brothers dissipate the darkness of the inner core of the heart. And how do they do that? By they help one meet the two kinds of Bhagavatas, right? So Sandhav, the benediction that Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu are giving is they are connecting each one of us to two Bhagavatas. Who are the two Bhagavatas? One is a book Bhagavata and one is the person Bhagavata. That is the benediction, right? And it's true, only because of the mercy of Mahaprabhu, we are so fortunate that we have come in contact with Prabhupada, a living Bhagavata. And what is Prabhupada giving us? Srimad Bhagavatam. So both the Bhagavatas are actually a blessing of Mahaprabhu, right? So the Sandho is actually, the benediction is, they are giving us both the Bhagavatams. And by both these Bhagavatams, what happens? The darkness in the innermost core of our heart, which is actually deep inside, deep-rooted darkness, which is there for lifetimes after lifetime, that is pulled out by the mercy of both the Bhagavatas. Right? So all those anarthas are pulled out, and then they instill the mellow of bhakti, the bhakti ras in the heart of every living entity. So this is their blessing. So what is their blessing? Their blessing is they are revealing Krishna, Bhakti and Prem through chanting of the holy name. And second blessing, they are purifying the innermost core of our heart by giving us two Bhagavatas, person Bhagavata, book Bhagavata, and through them the anarthas is pulled out and Bhakti Ras is instilled in the heart of everyone. This is the highest gift. What else gift can anyone give? This is the highest of all gifts. And this is Samdo, right? The benediction. Okay. Now, the last word to discuss is Chitro. Chitro means wonderful. So further in the verses, right. So verse 101. Oh, yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm going further. You don't need to follow in the verses. But he says, what is so wonderful? He says, the first wonder is that both brothers appear simultaneously. Right? I already mentioned sun and moon. You don't see them both rising together. But here, see, Chaitanya and Nityananda are risen together. This is so wonderful. Chitro. And the second is they illuminate the innermost depths of the heart. We don't even know what all anarthas are there in the innermost core of our heart. But they actually, through these Bhagavatas, the book Bhagavata and person Bhagavata, they penetrate the innermost core and then pull out all the unwanted things and establish the bhakti ras in the core of our heart. This is so wonderful. This is so wonderful. So that's what Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying, right? So this is the second verse of Namaskar, right? So one day Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodita Gaudadaya Pushpanto, and focuses on these words Chitro, Sando, Tamonudo. Right? These three words. Now, another point that Prabhupada does mention on the purport of 102, that he basically says that also this tamaha, he elaborates this 5 kinds of ignorance. He says, what is this tamaha? And he elaborates and says, first tamaha is to accept the body to be the self. Right? I mean, we all think, oh, I'm this body, I'm this designation, I'm so and so. So first is to accept the body as the self. Second is ignorance is to think that to make material sense gratification as one standard of enjoyment. We are so accustomed to think that the only way I can be enjoyed is by getting something nice to my senses. So second kind of ignorance is to take this illusion away that sense objects is going to give us happiness. Second. Third kind of ignorance is being anxious due to material identification. We are all so much in anxiety. So that's the third kind of ignorance. Fourth is lamentation. We're always lamenting, oh, I didn't get this, or maybe if this was like this, it would have been better, and maybe if I could got admission here, or I was here, or if my house was in this place, or this. We're always lamenting, oh, only if this, then I'll be happy. Fourth kind. And the fifth, thinking that there is anything beyond the absolute truth. Beyond Krishna, there is something higher than Krishna, or there's something beyond Krishna. No. Krishna, there's nothing outside of Krishna. So these 5 are the kinds of ignorance that Mahaprabhu is pulling out from the core of our heart. Accepting the body to be a self, material sense gratification as one standard of enjoyment, being anxious due to material identification, lamentation, and thinking there's something outside of Krishna. So this is 5 kinds of ignorance. That is also that tamaha, tamo nudo. That's also Prabhupada explains, right? So therefore he concludes and says, therefore let's worship the holy feet of these 2 lords, and they are giving all blessings, Sando, they are taking out the ignorance, and this is so wonderful. They both have arisen simultaneously. Hence, I fall at the feet, offer obeisances to them. Okay, so I'll stop here. Let's see if anyone has any questions. So I hope this verse is clear, and we can meditate on the words of this verse. One day Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodita Gaudadaya Pushpanto Chitro, Sando, and Tamonudo. These 3, right? Okay, Nikunja Vilasani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhuji, could you please explain how auspicious activities are detrimental?
Yeah. So in the Vedas, if you consider auspicious activity, they'll say do some kind of rituals, right? And if someone is doing a kind of ritual, normally we say, oh, he's doing so nice rituals. This is very nice. So one is the rituals which are done with a material motivation, though they externally from Vedic point they appear auspicious, but point of bhakti they are not auspicious because
Okay.
they are just fanning our desire to actually get more material things, right? So that is one kind. The second kind of auspiciousness, like one way if you see people give charity to the poor, Now, is that good? Well, that is good as long as it is not giving us the feeling that I am the controller, I am the proprietor. Many times it happens that, you go and feed poor people and then you feel like, oh, see, I am so good. I did this, And if that is actually happening, that our enjoying our proprietorship, controllership mentality is increasing, then is that auspicious or inauspicious? Actually, from Vedic point is auspicious, but from point of bhakti, it is inauspicious.
Yes, Prabhuji, got it.
So all these activities. So therefore, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying anything, even those from Vedic point of view, appears auspicious, but is not favorable to bhakti. Mahaprabhu is taking it off.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Deepshika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, on the same lines, it's basically the intention that matters at the end of the day. Like even if you're doing the Vedic rituals, if the intention is right, it's fine.
See, I mean, Vedic rituals, like, that's why I mentioned, like in Karma Kanda, there are so many rituals mentioned. The whole, Karma Kanda section of the Vedas is full of rituals. Now, inherently, the mood behind the ritual is that there is some material gain associated. I'm doing this so that I can get some material gain. So, inherently, all those rituals are connected with a material objective. Now, question of changing the intention, we see in Srimad Bhagavatam that different like Prithu Maharaj or Bharat Maharaj, we see examples of these personalities that even though they are pure devotees, but yet they perform certain Vedic sacrifices, right? Why? Just to set an example so that other people, who are not at stage of bhakti may practice it. But then Bhagavatam explains that when they are doing it, they are thinking, oh yes, though this is like so and so Vedic sacrifice, in my mind I'm doing this only for the pleasure of Krishna. So to your point, yes, intention is all that matters. Yes, that is true. But at the pure stage, you can really make that intention and say that, okay, this is only for Krishna's pleasure. But but many times in our level, because the whole thing is inherently from karma kanda, we may do it and we may think, oh, this is for Krishna, but underlying we may have some desire which we may not even realize. So yeah. Right. So for us, hence the only pious activity is what? Srinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shramana Kirtanam. Hearing about Krishna, that is the highest path. So we focus on these aspects, Right?
Got it, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so I hope it's okay. I know it's a lot of information to get in 30 minutes, but one way, we covered the first chapter. I have kind of gone through all the verses. So I hope this is helpful and you're getting an overview of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we'll continue next week on Wednesday, and we'll go with the third verse of our Mangalacharan. Okay, so thank you all so much for joining. We'll end here. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Krishnas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. And just want to say thank you, Deepshikha Mataji, for posting the points. I mean, I was just going through the points and it's always good. So I would encourage those are posting the points. Thank you for that seva. And it's always good, like if you just go through the points, it really helps just to, recollect what we discussed and how the flow is going through Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for
Thank
such
you.